up on science. To tell us the most amazing things about sound. You just listened to it, you just did it, but did you know what sound actually is?
Hello, Phil doesn't know me. He's taking a big risk and he's quite nervous. All he knows is a dude has turned up in a flannel shirt. So anyway, back crystal healing. Anyhow, I like sound. I think sound's pretty good. I wanted you to do a thing for me. I'm terrified that you're all like PhDs and shit. That's horrible. I wrote this for like drunk people. I mean 12-year-olds. I mean drunk people. So do this for me though. Can you make, Can you make, hold out your hand for a second. Can you make the movement that a sound wave makes through the air? Can you do that for me? Yeah, right. So a lot of people, you're doing that little sine wave thing. You know that like, you might have heard that sound is made of sine waves and that's great. So that isn't how it works at all. And I'm so sorry, but I feel so good that you got that wrong. All right, so what I need you to do, we're gonna be like a sound wave here. We're gonna show you how that is. Now a sound wave isn't a thing, it's a description of what things are doing, and by thing I mean stuff that has weight. So I want you to hold out your hands in front of me for a second. Hear all the like particles in the room. We've got a big speaker on this side of the room. So all you guys, you move like this, bam. All right, now at some point you hit the people in front of you. Now a lot of you immediately moved on, that's great. But I want you to do something else. When your chunk of air, particle, whatever, hits the next one, I want you to then go back the other way, because you're bouncing off each other. All right, and now, when you get, I've got this Mexican wave effect is what I want to see happen. And then keep on going. So we go, boo. Oh, no, terrible. So hit, back off, and bam. All right, now I just got to... You all look really stupid. And again, this makes me really happy.
That's your second one.
So at this moment, though, hands up again, hands up again, hands up again. Now the reason why we got this sound wave idea, can we do one more time, the Mexican wave thing from this side? You bounce off each other, you bounce back, you bounce off, you bounce back. Thank you, sir, I appreciate you joining in there. Now freeze. So this is where the sine wave idea comes from. If I look down here, If I look down here, I'm going to draw a sine wave in the air, okay? That sine wave is not how an actual bit of sound moves, but that sort of wavy motion is an abstraction. What it is if you graphed the density of the air. So up here, oh, you're so good. So over here, there used to be a fist, but now there isn't, and now there's two. So there's a high density. No! And then here, there's no fists, so that's the low density. And here it's high density, and here it's low density, and here it's high density, and here it's low density, and then I don't know, man. I guess they're probably just late. They're cool. They'll be here. And so, I don't know what that is. So that's where the idea of sound being a sine wave comes from. And there's this really, I want to show you a second here. Do you guys know how microphones work? I don't know. It's they're all little electrical generators. When I'm talking, it's just like that thing where we're doing, right? That's my face. That whole wall is my face, and that's making all these vibrations happen across the room. Now your fists were all. That's what's happening now. The microphone, it's vibrating backwards and forwards. There's a little element inside there, and it's surrounded by magnets. So every microphone is actually a tiny little electrical generator, and it moves backwards and forwards. And well, that's the sound. I'm going to show you what that looks like exactly. So this is a picture of sound. And what this is exactly, I don't think many people know. Maybe you all do, and I'm making a terrible embarrassment of myself. But this picture here is me whistling. I can prove that to you. Hold on. Choo, 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 choo. That's not me whistling. So that very little... Go on, get louder. All right, lovely. And so you can see it's a very simple little thing. It's sort of like a sine wave. Whistling's a very simple little sound. And now what that picture actually is, though, this is a big deal to me. This is showing how the speaker will move backwards and forwards in space. So it's going towards you, away from you, towards you, away from you, pushing all those particles of air. And of course, it's very simple because it's just me whistling. If we look at, say, this one, it's obviously a lot more complicated, right? And that's because it's, you know, one of Beethoven's symphonies. And I'm lying, it's me making fart sounds. And so if we look at what the actual symphony looks like, it's different again. It looks like that. All right, that's it there, you can just trust me. And white noise doesn't look that different, actually, which is weird. So that's white noise there. So my understanding is, and I'm really excited about today because I'm really hyped to find out what I've got wrong, which is embarrassing, but that's how it is. The sound that you hear in your ear, how this translates to sound that you can hear, is that your eardrum is moving backwards and forwards, just like this, right? So this amazes me, that all of the sound of a symphony can be reduced to this at any one point, just this one position in time. You can see this in old film. If you actually look at it, there is, on like, you know, real life cinema film, you can see like the digital stuff here, and I'm okay with this. It's like this pattern of things magically turns into sound in a cinema. Cool. What blows my mind is that this also, this one single wavy line, well, one for each speaker actually, that also has all of the information in a soundtrack. Absolutely all of it. That amazes me. It's incredible the mathematical processing that your brain does while you're not even aware of it. The ability to hear, you know, listening to at this moment in time, what do we got? What do we got? What is that? That is every track at once. Sorry. So that is, all right. So you can tell there's like, you can hear like the violins and at the same time hear someone fart next to you and hear someone else use the coffee machine, and somehow your brain can pull that all apart just from this one wave. And I think that's amazing. But I wanted to show you a little gimmick now, and that is, so your eardrum's going to hear things because of a difference in pressure. So at those moments when your fists were close together, that's high pressure, and you can hear that, it sounds loud. And if it's like far apart, that's a difference in pressure, you can hear that. I don't mind if people want to tell me off for using the wrong words about pressure later on. But what's interesting is that during that, when I was drawing that sine wave, there are these moments when we're actually, the speaker would be right at the center, when the pressure is the same as it was before any music happened. And in those moments, you can't hear anything. And I'm going to demonstrate that now. So these are two speakers, and you can do this at home as well, really easily. On the back of a speaker where there's two wires, there's like a black one and a red one, just swap them over. So right now they're playing what we call in phase. So both speakers are moving forwards and backwards at the same time. Now the left one is out of phase. It sounds a bit different, but no big deal. But, oh no, leave that open. Maybe it's a little louder. Now, I know that like it's normal for sound to change, but there's so when it's like that, and it's pretty quiet, right? Like that is the speaker, one's moving backwards, the other one's moving forwards, and those like your hands before, those ripples of pressure are cancelling each other out. We've got that destructive interference. 1 minute? All right. So I found this, okay, physics and shit. All right, conservation of energy. I really like it because this is rigorous to your thinking. So what we got here is a guitar, and I hate Questacon a lot. And I went there and they said, guitars are loud because you got a oscillator that makes a vibration and the resonator makes it louder. And I'm like, that's cool, I dig that. And a year later I thought, no I don't. Why? Work with this assumption, okay? The loudness that you hear from a guitar, the sound, the volume of sound, how loud it is directly related to the energy that's coming out of the guitar. The energy is going into that guitar only from me plucking a note. Oh. Oh no, we will save the demonstration. So, hang on. So, I keep hearing about this Brian Cox rock star piece of shit. I'm like, I'm a failed rock star, when's my turn? All right, so, pluck that for me, would you? Pluck that for me, no, the strings. It's a bit quieter. I feel this is a bad demonstration, you can't hear it very well. So where is the extra energy coming from? When a guitar is louder, where's it coming from? No more breaking guitars. The extra energy. All right, no, I'm out of time. I've got to just like wrap this up in 10 seconds. The question is, how is a guitar louder because of all this resonant space? What about this? Stop it. What about this makes it louder? It's not losing any weight. Where is the energy coming from? The answer is that, yeah, people say resonance and standing waves, but I don't feel that's an answer. You might know a lot more than me and understand it better. The answer that I understand is that the string is very bad at making air wobble. It's so thin that it can't really pass on much energy. So it takes a long time until it's used up all its energy. When it's connected to this resonant chamber, it's actually the whole front of the guitar that wobbles. Sorry. The whole front of the guitar that wobbles. In particular the front though, because of the way the strings are literally connected to it. So because there's this whole fat surface moving backwards and forwards, that allows it to much more efficiently transfer all of its energy to the air. So the answer of where the energy comes from is from the time domain. It actually is like robbing the future of that sound and using it up all very quickly. Thank you so much. My name's Leon, I'm over time.